Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you 5 most useful text animation skills in Adobe Animate. They are these. These are basically the same principles but different applications, and these are the text animation skills that I'm using most frequently. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel, hit the like button, and set the alarm for my latest video. Then let's get started. Okay, so first, text animation number 1. It looks like this again. Okay, so first, create a new document. I'm gonna make a new one under social media, and then on the size is gonna be 600 by 315, 30 frame rate, and HTML5 canvas. Create it. Let me type my word, which is hiking. I'm gonna set the position. Let me open my alignment. Check the align to stage panel, center and center. Okay. So first, since we're going to animate each letter separately, I'm going to break apart under modify and break apart. Then we need to assign the individual layer for each letter. So go to modify, timeline, distribute to layers. See that? All the layers, each layer has the one letter by an order from the bottom to top. Now still those letters are selected. I'm going to break apart again as a graphic. Okay, now highlight the frame number 10 on the bottom layer, hold down the shift key, and then highlight the frame number 10 on top layer, then insert a keyframe. Then select all layers, select the first layer, hold down the shift, click on the top layer, everything's highlighted. Then place your mouse cursor somewhere in between 1 and 10 on any layer. That really doesn't matter. Then hold on the control or right click, click. Then create classic twin. Okay, so in order to change this on animating speed, I'm going to select all the first keyframes by holding down the shift key, click on the top and the bottom. Then in your properties panel, there's the effect and then the ease option. I'm going to set to 100. Okay, so nothing's happening yet. Now, place your playhead, this blue tab, on the very first keyframe. Select everything. Okay, then choose your free transform tool. Then hold down the shift key, make it bigger by dragging, about that size. Okay, then still those letters are selected. In your properties panel, there's a color effect menu and drop down menu. Choose the alpha down to 0. So it's going to be fading in like this. Okay, so we're almost there. Then now H is the first letter, so I'm gonna leave it as it is. Select the second layer from the bottom. Place your mouse cursor and keep pressing your mouse button and drag it 5 frames to the right. And the third one, keep pressing, grab it up to 20. Third one, up to 25, up to frame number 30, and up to frame number 35. And see what happens. See? But those letters are kind of, each letters can disappear, and then eventually we're going to see the just letter G only. We need to keep them. So highlight the frame number 35 on second layer from the top, hold down the shift key, and click on frame number 35. And insert the keyframe so we can keep everything. Hiking. Okay. Yep. So we can test the movie under controls menu, test movie in browser. This happens, but it keeps looping like that. If you want to make it stay a little longer in Animate. So this is about kind of just 1 second animation. I want to keep it up to 4 second mark. There, 120. Highlight the 120 frame. On top layer, hold down the shift key and click on the bottom layer's 120. Then insert the keyframe. Then it will stay about 3 seconds and will replay. Try again. Control, test the movie in browser. 1, 2, 3, and again. Okay, so first one is done. Now the second one is going to be like this. It's pretty simple. Same way. Let me make a new document. Same setting, 600 by 315, 30 frame rate in HTML5 canvas, and create it. I'm going to use the same word, hiking. I'm going to set to the center. I will repeat the same steps. Under modify menu, break apart, go to modify, timeline, distribute to layer, so we can have the individual layer for each letter. Okay, then Command B again, break apart as a graphic. Now I will do basically the same thing. Hold down the highlight the frame number 10 on the bottom layer and top layer. Insert the keyframe. Now select the bottom layer, hold down the shift and then click on the top layer so you can select all layers at the same time. Then control and click anywhere, any frame in between. Hold down the control click or right click. Choose the create classic twin. Okay, then highlight the first keyframe on top layer, hold down the shift key, click on the other bottom layers, the first keyframe. Then this time the ease option I'm gonna set to a -100. So nothing's happening yet. So from the bottom layer, let me select the place with the your playhead at the very beginning. Select everything, and then move all of them just a little bit down, not too much. Also, in your properties panel, color effect, change the alpha value down to 0. So it's going to be fading in and moving up like that. Then H is the first letter. I'm going to leave it as it is. I, the second letter, 5 more frames. Second letter, the third one, 5 more to the right. 5 more. As you notice, I'm using the basically the same techniques but different applications. Then also I'm going to highlight the frame number 35 on the second layer and hold down the shift key, click on frame number 35 and insert the keyframe. And this happens. If you want to keep it like we did for the first one for 3 seconds after that, highlight the frame number 120, which is a 4-second mark, for all layers, and insert the keyframe. Then let's test the movie. Under Controls menu, test movie in browser. 3 seconds, and playing again. Alright, so number 2 is done. Now number 3, which is this. Watch it first. Okay. Let's create a new document again. Same settings, 600 by 315, 30 frames per second, and HTML5 canvas. Create it. I'm going to type the same word, hiking. And let me set the position in the center. Let me open the alignment panel and center, center. And again, break apart. And under modify menu, timeline, and distribute to layers. So this is kind of a working routine. Once it is done, then break apart again. Okay. Then I will do the same thing. Frame number 10 and frame number 10 on the bottom. Insert the keyframe. Select all layers, so click on the first layer, hold down the shift key and click on the top layer. So we select all layers at the same time. Hold down the control key, hover your mouse cursor somewhere in between, anywhere, any layer. Click. Create classic twin. Now at the beginning, place your playhead at the very beginning, select all, and then move everything to the left out of stage, like that. So this happens. Okay. Now, since we're going to have the letter G first, I'm going to do the moving 5 frames to the right things backward. So G, I'm gonna keep it as it is. Next letter, grab it to the frame number 15, and the next 20, and the next 25, next 30, and the next 35. So this happens. To keep all the letters at the same position, highlight the frame number 35, the second layer from the bottom, hold down the Shift key and click on the frame number 35, then insert the keyframe. So you can keep it. Also, on the frame number 120, which is the 4-second mark, I'm going to insert the keyframe. So when we play on a web browser under Control, Test Movie in Browser, it will stay 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and play. Okay, so number 3 is done. Now, text animation number 4. That is this. Let me play it. Okay, this is pretty similar to the first one, which is this, but it is different. It is rotating, and then entering position is a little bit different. Watch. See? Okay, so let's do that. Make a new document. Everything's the same setting, same size, same frame rate, and same platform type. I'm going to type the same word, hiking. Then set the position, the center. I'll do the same, repeat the same routine. Modify, break apart, modify, timeline, distribute to layers, and break apart. Okay, now highlight the frame number 10, all layers. Insert the keyframe, select all layers, hold down the Control key and hover your mouse cursor somewhere in between any layer. Click, create classic twin. Okay, now we're going to animate it layer by layer, letter by letter. So place your mouse cursor on the playhead to the very beginning. We're going to start from the letter H, this one. Now open the transform panel. It is under Windows menu also. Transform. I'm going to make it 500% larger. I'm going to rotate 90-degree angle, and I'm going to change the color effect, the alpha, down to 0. So it's going to be rotating and fading in. Okay. Oh, by the way, I forgot this. Let me highlight all the first keyframes, and let me insert the ease option to 100. So this happens. Okay, now I will repeat the same steps for the next letter. At the beginning, highlight it, open transform. I will enter the same value, 500% larger. And I'm going to rotate 90-degree, and then color effect, alpha, down to 0. Next letter. Open transform panel, same value, always 500% larger. I'm rotating 90-degree angle, and then a color effect, 0 from the beginning. Next letter, transform, 500%, and rotate 90-degree angle, starting from the alpha value of 0% of alpha value. And the next, open transform, 500%, and rotate it 90-degree angle, and the alpha. I'm changing all the value on the first keyframe. And transform. Next, the last one, 500% larger, and 90-degree angle, 90-degree, and the alpha value from the beginning, the 0%. So this happens. See? It's pretty cool. Now, let me rewind it. I will do the same thing. H is the first letter. I'm going to leave it as it is. From the I letter, next letter, I'm going to move it to the right. 5 more frames. 5 more. 5 more. And the next. And the last. As always, I need to keep the other letter at the same spot. Highlight the frame number 35 on the second keyframe from the top. And then second layer. And hold down the shift key, click on the bottom layer's frame number 35, insert the keyframe. So this will happen. Okay. Also, I want to keep it maybe 3 more seconds so people have enough time to read it. So highlight the end of frame number 120 on top layer and hold down the shift key, click on the bottom layer's 120 frame and insert the keyframe. Then test the movie. Control, test the movie in browser. 1, 2, 3, again. Okay, so number 4 is down. Now, number 5. That was this. Kind of randomly, it looks like kind of a particle effect. They're combining into the one word from the random position. So let's do that. File, new. All the same settings, same size, same rate, same type. Create it. Let me type the word. Hiking. I'm gonna set the position, center, center. I will do the same thing again. Modify, break apart first, then modify timeline, distribute to layers. Then break apart. Okay, now highlight the frame number 10, all of them. Then insert the keyframe. Highlight the first layer on the bottom, hold down the shift key, click on the top layer so we can select all layers, and then hold down the control key or right click, hover anywhere in between any layer, click, classic twin. Okay, so nothing's changing yet. Okay, now from here, I'm gonna just change the position of each letter on the first keyframe. So first letter H, this one, I'm gonna have it somewhere there. So it's going to coming in like that. I forgot another one. Select all the first keyframes. This time -100. Easy option. Okay. Or even here, you may rotate it by using this free transform tool. Just rotate just randomly like that. Okay. Now next letter. On the first keyframe, next letter I want to have that coming in from maybe somewhere there. And let me rotate it as well. Like that. Hiking. Okay. Now next letter. First position, first keyframe, letter K. I'm going to have it coming in from there. Okay, and then let me rotate it a little bit. Next letter I want to have that come from there. I'm gonna rotate it. Next letter N coming in from there. Let me rotate it, not too much. And the last one, the last letter coming in from there. I'm gonna rotate it like that. So watch, once I play it, it happens like this. It's fun. But also I want to give some kind of a different timeline as well. So H, it doesn't have to come at the very first time, at the very beginning. I want to have that somewhere there. Maybe I up over there. K somewhere there. I there. And N. And the last letter G. somewhere there, and I'm going to skip it as it is. So watch this. It is interesting, but it doesn't stay. So on this time, I'm going to do the same thing. Select that frame. So the frame number 25, in this case, that's the last keyframe. So I'm going to keep the same timeline. Insert the keyframe, the next letter, keyframe, 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 keyframe. So we keep the same timeline all together, and they stay all together. Okay, then always I want to make it stay a little longer. On the 4-second mark, which is 120 frame, highlight all of them and insert the keyframe. Then test the movie. Control test the movie in browser. 1, 2, 3, and again. So there's a slightly different kind of effect. Okay, so I showed you the 5 different effects all together. So I hope that you enjoyed this and you can use it for your future project. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.